Okay, scrappers, here for today I'll do a server blade. The last server that I scrapped out was a server tower. I've got quite a few of these, so I just picked up a random one that looks pretty good. And yeah, so we'll just get into it and have a little look at what we can get out of a server blade. Just get her open. So yeah, I've mentioned before that these covers can be pretty good just for other projects. If you need clean pieces of sheet steel, it's usually heavy grade steel. So you know, a lot of times I like to keep these covers. Yeah, it looks pretty okay. Just put some plastic here. Oh yeah, so we've got two heat sinks, so obviously that's going to mean that we've got two CPUs, and they look like nice copper heat sinks, so that should be good. We've got a whole pack of RAM here. There's 2, 4, 6 RAM sticks here, so that's a real bonus. Got some hot swap fans, and you know, I've mentioned hot swap fans before. You know, sometimes you can actually sell these as they are. You know, you might get a few bucks for each one. This one just had 4 of them. Looks like there's 4 empty slots. At the front we're going to have some hard drives we're going to take out. Under here there's you know, your standard 2 power supplies, so we'll get them out. And looks like we've got a couple of at least 1 slot card. And yeah, and the main board. So I'll just see if I can open it up. Okay, so that's the slot card caddy, and it looks pretty good already. You've got your main slot card there, as well as looks like the riser board and or backplane board, if you like, and another backplane board on this side. So these backplane boards are actually really good too. You got your gold fingers as well as gold pins inside the plugs, and yeah, so it looks pretty interesting. Also got some really nice large tantalum capacitors here. They look like, you know, they're quite square. Normally they're more rectangle like this one here, but in this case there's 5 of them here that are very square, and that they are tantalum capacitors. So, and really nice gold pins on these. So I'll just open them up. Just get my screwdriver. Well, the beauty of a lot of these server blades is that they're really easy to scrap, and you know, you can scrap these, you know, just as quick, if not quicker, than a PC, because you've got very little screws, and it's all sort of clip in, clip out kind of thing. Like this riser board or backplane board, it's just got that little blue tab there that you push in, and you just push it across, and we should be able to get it out. So there you go, nice and easy. And that's one nice riser board. It's got a couple of tantalum capacitors here. We've got some really good nice gold pins in here. Got the gold fingers going along both sides, and we've also got another 4 tantalum capacitors here, and they're nice big tantalum capacitors. So, you know, a good little bonus to start off with. So even if you sold these boards as backplane boards, which you can get pretty good money, if you're not, you know, into depopulating everything, well, at least take off these tantalum capacitors. So you've got 6 nice tantalum capacitors. It all adds up to the collection, you know. And there's another riser backplane board here. So just press that little button in. Actually, we might have to take out. Oh, sorry about that. Well, that's the slot card, and yeah, this is a really beautiful slot card. Actually, it's very heavy. It's It's got some really nice gold fingers running along it. It's got virtually like a CPU here with a little heatsink on it. There'll be another nice little chip under this heatsink here. So there you go, nice big Northbridge gold corner chip. So that's nice, bit of aluminium. Also got this almost like a RAM looking slot. And so yeah, it's very much just looks like a big, it's a little bit higher, like a RAM stick. It is obviously some kind of RAM, but on this side it's actually got a battery, NIMH battery that obviously we're going to want to take off. Looks like it unscrews. So I just have to use the smaller screwdriver on this. So this is a bit of an unusual RAM stick with the battery attached to it. So there you go, that's just a NIMH battery. So we can, you know, I'll just send this off with my batteries to the recycler. We don't get any money for these really, and yeah, I just send them, I just put them in with regular batteries to send off to the recycler. But so that's the other side of the chip. And there's a nice tantalum capacitor here, big IC chip, little resistor, and the other side we've got our nice IC chips here and the gold fingers. So I can add these to the RAM, I suppose. And the last thing on here was one more of these bloody if I can get it out. Early. Okay, so the rest of this is just steel, but that's the other backplane board. So again, another 2 tantalum capacitors here, and got 3 over this side, 1 over this side. So very similar to the other one. It's got longer gold fingers but smaller. These ones are actually heavier gold fingers than this one. But yeah, so you know, that's a nice start. 2 riser boards, 1 big RAM stick, and a beautiful slot card. And as you can see on this slot card, yeah, these square tantalum capacitors are unusual. They're normally rectangle like them, but they definitely are tantalum capacitor. You can see the little brownish line going across the top on one side. That's the positive side. Got this nice pin, which is going to be some gold pins in there, gold pins in here, gold pins there. The other side, we've got a little crystal oscillator, the gold band one, some MLCCs, and I've mentioned before on servers, MLCCs, these are the class 1 MLCCs. They've got a higher grade of palladium and silver in these. So yeah, really nice slot card. It's very weighty, but as you can see, there's so many good stuff on it. This chip here and that chip there, and gold fingers. I mean, you know, you'd be crazy not to depopulate it and go for your precious metal recovery rather than just selling this as a slot card. Okay, so there are the first few items. Over the side here, I mentioned the power supply units. There's 2, and so that's your power supply unit there. This one looks a little damaged, but you know, sometimes you can resell. You know, you can resell a lot of this stuff if that's what you're into. But these are all just slightly outdated servers, and you know, just might as well just scrap them out and get the gold recovery. As you can see, the gold fingers on the ends of the power supplies, you know, most of it is just solid line all the way through. Some gaps here. The other side, same thing, solid, and some gaps, but really nice gold fingers on these power supply units. And there's another one, same deal, beautiful. So as I've shown you before, I just use the monkey grips and just take them off like that, nice and easy, nice and quick. So that's it, I just take them and we're done. We've got our gold fingers, put it into our bucket, and the rest, yeah, you can either sell it complete as it is like this, as a scrap power supply unit, or you can open it up and go for it, but I prefer to just sell them as they are, rather than spending too much time opening them up and just trying to get a little bit more copper out of it. I get pretty good money just selling them as they are. So yeah, because for me, you know, scrapping for copper and stuff is okay, that's good cash flow, but there's copper in a lot of things. You know, old TVs are still about, so you know, I'm mostly into the gold recovery stuff. All right, so I'll take out these hot swap fans and see if we can get rid of some stuff here. It should just, the whole thing should just come out somehow. As I mentioned, they're pretty easy to scrap, but because everyone's different, they still take a bit of time to work out where everything is and how it all goes. But here's the RAM. Six RAM sticks. How's that? And these are beautiful RAM sticks actually. FB DIMMs. Now they're all, well, these are actually 2 gigabytes. 2 gig. Yeah, they're all 2 gigabytes. So when we got 2 gigabyte RAM sticks, they're really, you know, you might be better off trying to sell these. So instead of throwing these in with scrap RAM, you know, we've got 6 2 gig RAM sticks here. So yeah, so I'm going to definitely look these up. They're Kingston, so Kingston are a good brand too, and they look really quite sexy. You know, what do they call? I think they call them RAM bus, when they've got the aluminium heatsink sort of over the top. But I'll look up these part numbers and, you know, look to see what they're selling for on eBay, and if they're selling for okay money, I'll probably end up selling these. I'll just sell the whole lot in one go as 6 RAM sticks. You know, you get much more money for it because it's 2 gig. If these were only 1 gigabyte each, I probably wouldn't bother. But with 2 gigabyte, they're still they'll still be useful to someone. So I'm going to definitely put these up. So there's a real bonus, having 2 gig RAM sticks. You know, with 10 times our value, if not more, you know, maybe even 20 times our value, because now we can sell these guaranteed. So I'll keep them aside, and I'll just get rid of some more wire. So yeah, as I've mentioned, scrapping, you know, servers is probably the best kind of stuff you can scrap for precious metal recovery. It's just a matter of getting them. But for those people that don't pick up eWaste commercially, you know, and you don't go to offices and pick up eWaste, then the only way you're really going to get these is buying them at auction. So but that's no problem. And as you can see, you know, like already we've got some good slot cards. We've got 6, you know, awesome 2 gigabyte RAM sticks that we're going to sell, so get good money. And these 2 heat sinks here, okay, now these are about the heaviest copper heat sinks that I've ever pulled actually. And we've got the little CPU that's really stuck, so these aren't going to be any good to resell because they're they've been heated on, and check that out. It's actually broken open, and there's palladium in that as well as gold, but it's so stuck to the heat sink that it's all open. But you can see you can see a little bit of there probably are precious metals in this part here, but you can clearly see the gold all around, and all this stuff here that's sort of like crumbly. That there will be palladium and gold in amongst that too. So I'm going to have to clean, sort of like depopulate it, use the air hammer and sort of grind it off. But and these parts here are little brass risers, and the screws are just steel, but these copper heat sinks are beautiful, really nice and heavy, really thick, really good. See how the other one went. Same thing, it's stuck on. We'll see how bad. Yeah, same deal. It's really stuck on so much, and it looks like they kind of overheated or something, or burnt out, because you can see how easy it was to remove this from that. Normally it's a lot harder. Here I can see little MLCCs and a really nice gold inside that. So that's just a good little look at just these regular CPUs with pins. So you got the gold pins we can remove, and they're pretty good high grade gold pins. But as well as the gold pins inside, we've got some nice gold plating inside there. That's a really nice big chunk. So these are really awesome just for scrap. And even without the CPUs, obviously they're going to have CPUs if they've got heat sinks, but these heat sinks alone, being solid copper, you'll probably get these definitely weigh well over £1, so there's a few bucks in each one just in scrap value if you didn't want to sell it. But you could also sell these. I might remove these. I might look to sell, keep the riser pins on it and the screws in it, and they're probably even worth selling. But even as scrap copper, it's good money. So straight away we've pulled off the RAM, good money. The heat sinks are good money. Got some nice slot cards. Okay, so we've got the main motherboard. I'll take off. Okay, see if we can get this motherboard out. Okay, so I've gotten this off, and so basically it's just where the hot swap fans slide into. So there's a little circuit board under there, not a great deal, just with some gold pins. Okay, yeah, so just some looks like we just got some pins here, some nice gold pins there, but just a slot. Managed to unclip the motherboard. Okay, all right, so that's our motherboard, and I'll just get some of these heat sinks off. So we've got these 3 heat sinks. There will be some nice chips under there. There's a couple of gold corner chips here already. I just want to get these heat sinks off. Okay, it's a nice chip there. Just extruded aluminium heatsink. Another one here. Okay, another nice chip. And got this big one here. We can somehow get it off. I never left much room to get those clips out. Okay, so another really nice big chip here. Aside from that, so we've got the 3 gold corner chips here. That one there, this one, another little gold corner chip here. We've got some nice MLCCs running around, and a lot of pins, a lot of gold pins going all around. These 3 here, really nice. We've got some MLCCs in amongst all this sort of stuff here that'll take off, and some tantalum capacitors here, and obviously we'll get the gold out of these pins here as well. On this side, some gold in there and in there. So, you know, quite a standard motherboard for a server, but it's still a server board, and you know, worth good money whether you sell it or not. If you sell it complete, then at least take off a few of these tantalum capacitors and a few MLCCs. If you want to just leave the chips on, obviously we want to get rid of the battery. But yeah, if you just sell the server board as a server board, and you're not into depopulating that much, well then at least take your your tantalums here, maybe the crystals, some nice MLCCs, because these MLCCs, as I said, they're class 1 MLCCs, and they're definitely worth taking out. All right, now over the other side, I got looks like we've got some hard drives, so I'll just open the little doors. Okay, so these look like pretty nice hard drives, but they're probably Ultra 320, it might be 320 gig. So yeah, when it comes to server hard drives, I always look them up to see, I always look up the brand and the model number to see if they're actually selling. You know, sometimes they're only not even selling and they're listed at $5 each. Other times they can be selling for 20-30 bucks each and might be worthwhile. But if, as you can see, these hard drive boards are completely different than your regular PC hard drive board. So, you know, we've got a really nice little gold corner chip here, some IC chips, another gold corner chip here. All right, so high value. You even got a little bit of gold in there. We've got MLCCs, a tantalum capacitor. We've got resistors. So, you know, and these MLCCs are also class 1 MLCCs, so very high grade. So these boards are definitely worth scrapping out of the hard drive if you don't sell them, if I can't sell them, yeah. So we've got one there. There's another one, looks like a slightly different one, slightly different board. It's only got one gold corner chip, but a little bit bigger, but still quite a nice little thing. It's got a little tantalum capacitor there, and a black tantalum capacitor there. So it's 2. Yeah, it looks like there's going to be 6 hard drives in this bugger. 3, 4, 5, 6 hard drives. So that's pretty darn good for this server, you know. Each hard drive, you know, is because of these really huge boards and really nice, well populated, you know, got really nice MLCCs. They're really nice and big. Yeah, nice tantalum. But yeah, the MLCCs are really nice. These IC chips are, you know, these North Bridge chips, South Bridge, are really nice. So really good. To get 6 of them is awesome. Okay, so that's 6 hard drives, and again, before I scrap them out, I will look them up to see what we got. So we should have a board here that's a backing board for the hard drives. So I'll get that out. We've got some ribbon wire. Got a little box here that was for the power supply units. Some wire. And there you go. As I said, it's so easy to scrap. They things just fall off it. So we do have some IC chips here, which is a bit of a bonus. We've got all the pins for the slots, and geez, these are MLCCs. They start with a C, and geez, they're really nice and big. So, you know, this is why I love doing servers. They're everything is just high grade gold pins, beautiful. So all the way through, really nice pins inside. So yeah, a really nice, even just a backplane board, a really good value from it. So we've got a little just a little DV drive. Just pulled out the card, so a little bit more gold pins on there. Yeah, so really quick, really easy. We've scrapped everything out. You know, we just got a little bit of wire to clean up, and just to get this little box out. The only time it's time consuming is when you're changing models and you're not used to how everything fits on. But here we've got, looks like, well, I like these little riser board things. I'll get this out. These are really cool. Again, for gold recovery, gold pins, pretty good. Okay, so as you can see, these gold pins here, they're really, you know, really nice, intense gold. So going to get good, and you can see the riser pin in here. That's all gold plated, really nice pin running all the way up and down that connects the two boards. So very nice. See if I can get it open. Okay, all right, so there it is there. We've got a nice little heatsink on here. The rest is mostly a power board. We can cut off all this wire off the board, and you know, we've got ourselves a bit of wire, but mostly what we want is these pins, these nice gold pins here, and these pins. And so if I just break these off, I can just sort of, if I can, sometimes they're a bit, okay, so yeah, it's sort of screwed in and then kind of like stuck on, but I'll break these pins off. I'll probably just use the air hammer and just chisel these pins off. You can see these really nice long pins here, gold, more gold there. And then I'll just take off this heatsink, cut off this wire, and throw the, you know, maybe get this IC chip out, and then throw the rest in as a power board. Oh yeah. So over the side here, you can see some really nice MLCCs again. Got these little fuses. These fuses can be either, they're gold capped, but in this case they're not, and I reckon they'll be silver capped. A few little ICs, but yeah, not bad. Another little bonus. All right, and yeah, with these ribbon wires, these are really good for gold pins. Very high grade gold pins in these. Awesome. All right, so I'll just do a quick tally, see what we got, and this server tower is scrapped. Okay, well, here's the scrap steel that we've ended up with from the server blade, and some of the things that we got out of it. We got the 2 power supply units. We've got the gold fingers from the power supply units, got some nice gold plugs and pins, and a little bit of wire, some small circuit boards, this one with the nice gold pins, and backplane board for the fan, the backplane board for the hard drives. We've got those 6 2 GB RAM sticks, so this is where the money is. So definitely going to sell these, and we'll get some good cash for that. Got this other kind of like a RAM stick, remember, with the battery on the back. Some fans. Got our main motherboard. Quite a lot of things to depopulate from this. but it's up to you. You can get pretty good money for server motherboards. So if you sell it, as I said, just take off a few good little things that you don't notice and just sell the rest if you like. Otherwise, just depopulate the whole motherboard. Got these two nice backplane board, riser boards, backplane boards if you like. Really good gold recovery out of these. Got a brilliant slot card here. It's loaded with precious metal recovery stuff on this. Yeah, it's going to be really good. Even the back has got some really nice MLCCs and stuff like that, resistors. But yeah, beautiful gold pins. Got these two awesome copper heat sinks that you know, instant cash, but they can also be sold on eBay, and you can get some pretty good money if you clean them up. I've still got to clean up those gold gold CPUs off them. All right, so yeah, and the other halves of the CPUs, some aluminium heat sinks, and 6 hard drives that I'm also going to look them up and see if they're worth selling. If they're worth it, I'll put them up on eBay. If I can get at least $10 each for them, I'll put them up on eBay. Otherwise, and I'll just say they've got to be selling too, because sometimes you see them listed but they never sell. So if they don't sell, I'll just scrap them. But I'm pretty sure that these 6 RAM sticks will sell, being 2 gigabytes. So that's the best thing out of this server blade. All right, so yeah, so that's yeah, finally got a server blade scrapped out on video. So you know, it's it all adds up, this stuff. And if you're into precious metal recovery, servers are a beautiful thing to get into to get all the gold that you want. All right, well, keep scrapping, guys. Have fun, and I'll catch you next time.